Hut, hut, hike. Hello again, my fellow Bears fans. Your boy Roy for Chicago Football Talk, and I wanted to share some of my quick Twitter notes, some of what was important that I actually realized while I was watching the game live. If you didn't get a chance to check out my Twitter stream, my CFT Bears hashtag, I was tweeting a lot of finalysis in between plays, things that you could only see when you were actually in a war room like I sequestered myself during the game. So some of the things that stood out to me, the good, the bad, and then things to take note of, if you will. Not much ugly in this game, so we don't have to go that route and beat that cliche, if you will. A lot of people are going to do those pieces. I'm not going to this time. So some things to note that were the good. Rookie toughness, and not in any specific order. Rookie toughness really stood out to me. The rookies made an impact on offense, their toughness. I've said for a long time now that there's no reason why offenses shouldn't try to punish opposing defenses, that football is a game of physicality. It's all about toughness ultimately. It's a game designed to test the toughness of one man versus another man. What are you willing to sacrifice? And there's no reason why you shouldn't be tough in all three phases, okay? And that includes on offense. Finally, the Bears have drafted under Emery some tough players, also part of because of what Mike Tyson wanted to do on offense. So they went out and got a Alshon Jeffrey, who fans started to realize. I pointed it out in one of my blogs with my stills, my breakdown blogs, that Alshon Jeffrey was punishing NFL defenses, and I can't wait to follow that up throughout the season. And so I will just point out again what fans realized and what I was pointing out also too, that Alshon Jeffrey made an impact with some physical blocking in this game in a 41-21 rout of the Bears over the Colts. And also Evan Rodriguez, he made some great blocks too, proving that he did deserve to be in that starting fullback flex tight end role, however they want to do it, however they want to change numbers. So proving that we are actually he's going to help us not miss Tyler Klutz so much. And we didn't even get to see any of the receiving wrinkles that we're going to see. Maybe we'll see that Thursday night. It's a short week, Bears fans, as we're ready to play the Packers, who lost to the 49ers. Like I said, dinner, which was the Bears game, was sweet. And the dessert was even sweeter as the Packers lost to the 49ers. A lot of people wanted to just presume that the Packers, even Bears fans, come on now, they're just going to beat the You got to play. You play the games on Sunday. We're playing on Thursday, but you have to play the games. There's no game is a gimme. And the 49ers, in case you didn't notice, I've been banging this drum all offseason that was the one game I circled on my calendar. They have a very physical defense. And the game, like I said, is about toughness and physicality. And they showed it to the Packers. And no surprise to me by any means that the 49ers upset the Packers at Lambeau Field. So a lot on the line in that game. Anyway, continuing with the good, the offensive line played great. Nobody played a perfect game at all. Even Jay Cutler bounced back from making mistakes. A pick six. A lot of Bears fans were real nervous about that. Hopefully, if you were watching my videos, I warned you guys, and let you guys know that the offense would probably start off. So the offense probably would start off a little shaky. The offense probably would be a little too amped up. And it was up to themselves to calm down, and that they would, after a couple 2 to 3 drives, bounce back and end up winning by a big margin, which is exactly what happened. So hopefully those that watched were listening and remembered while they were watching the game, okay, let me settle down. Let me not get my blood pressure too up. Let me not start, doing things I shouldn't be doing. And I won't even mention what those things may be. Tim Jennings, okay? Tim Jennings, the Bulldog, like I was saying in Twitter, the MF and Bulldog, that guy has worked very hard all offseason long on his hands, and it showed during the game. Clearly the MVP on defense of that game, and you could have given it. Peppers played like a beast. It's not to overshadow the other contributions of other members of the defense. I thought Connie played a pretty solid game, but Tim Jennings showed that hard work pays off. And, there's a lot of fans that question, look, the tape doesn't lie. When I pointed out when Zach Bowman got benched versus the Packers a couple years ago and Tim Jennings came in his stead, a lot of people were down on me. Maybe they bought a Bowman jersey when I pointed out the tape don't lie. There was a reason Jennings got put in after that first drive versus the Packers. And I hope people are starting to buy into it now. A lot of people real critical of Jennings all offseason. Bears didn't do anything. I'm worried about their corners. even making, breakdowns of that he's gambling a little too much. Well, those gambles paid off now, didn't they? So you got to work hard, and that's the results that you see. So I hope people appreciated it and aren't too attached to their negative opinions they had about Jennings, because that was then and this is now. Don't get too attached to the past, all right? Focus in the moment, if you will. Phil Jackson, the Bulls, taught us that. And also something about that's also good is the offense looked good today, and they're only going to get better as they gel. I pointed this out about Alshon Jeffrey on the touchdown. Even Jay Cutler mentioned it in his interview with Waddle and Sylvie on Tuesday on their off day. A lot of people underestimating Alshon Jeffrey's speed, but I seen it in training camp. Jay Cutler tested Alshon Jeffrey's speed, and he has the ability to run up and catch to the ball. And then you saw Cutler's arm strength on full display on that play. Just launched it, didn't even really set his feet, just all arm strength, and launched the bomb and said, "Go get it, Alshon," and he did. I mean, I would love to have been a fan at Soldier Field that day, and you could tell the fans were in a frenzy after that play. Moving along to the bad. The screen game suffered in this game, and it wasn't more so because of screen games are all about deception and timing, but it's also about catching the defense in a right play formation, the right play call. And the defense, Pagano guessed right, not necessarily that they were going to run a screen, but he happened to be calling pressures when the Bears screened. And the worst thing that can happen on the screen is if the defense happens to be calling a blitz on that play. Because in the screen game, in case you don't know, you basically got to block your defender, half block them for half a second even, and let them come through. That's part of the screen game. So Pagano guessed right on that. Have patience on the screen game, okay? Don't start, setting off alarms on that one. Garza continues to snap the ball low, this time off the dirt. I mean, he's not just snapping the ball low, he's snapping it lower. I'm expecting him to get better. I don't know what Garza and Cutler have to do to iron out those wrinkles on those shotgun snaps, but they really need to get that. The good thing is it's happening early, but come on now, man, consistently snapping the ball low on shotgun. I'm Mexican. I know we're vertically challenged, as maybe Garza is. He's probably taller than me, but come on now. I mean, anyway, Kellen Davis, probably the worst thing about this game was Kellen Davis's play. One step forward, two steps back. It's two steps back, okay? Now, I got to get to the film on everything that I'm mentioning right now. So he may have had about the same amount of good plays as bad plays, but his bad plays really stood out. And that's the thing. When your blocking plays are standing out a lot, that's not a good thing. And Kellen Davis, I've been letting you guys know, you guys think I have something against the tight ends, but his blocking, a lot of fans starting to realize that now. I mean, I pointed it out in a couple of my breakdowns. I'll probably have to point it out again. But Kellen Davis was probably the worst thing about this game for the Bears. Had one good block, and I think part of that was just momentum. The guy was already moving forward and falling forward. All he had to do was push him, and he happened to bounce into another guy. It wasn't really a physical block, but I'll get to the tape. Kellen Davis really needs to clean up his blocking. Very disappointed in that. Even had some fans calling for Kellen Winslow, and I don't even know that Kellen Winslow is that much of a better blocker. So, also too, the interior defensive tackles, they got out of their gaps often versus the run, and that's part of the thing. Lovey said it before the halftime on WBBM about the defense, about the run and the run defense on the last couple of drives as they led into halftime. And I noticed in the first play and the first drive of the second half that they actually went with the all Polynesian interior, basically if you will, virtually benching Henry Melton, who in my opinion was at fault on that touchdown play when he got out of his gap. So, but that made me question again. The Bears carried 52 on the roster, still have an extra spot. Is Brian Price on his way back with the Bears? I know they're making room for Collins too, but they're not going to keep two punters, so you can expect it to go down to 51 even. So I'm kind of wondering maybe they should bring back a Price just to try to shore up that interior. But two X factors are the fact that Collins will be coming back off of suspension on the roster, so maybe he'll help there. And Okoye didn't play in this game too, so maybe he'll help there. But I still think from what I've seen of Collins and Okoye and what I've seen of Price, that Price would be the better run defender over both of those guys. So, because he's the only guy I've seen show dominating interior penetration, though it was in the preseason and sometimes versus backups. The bad, also too, the running back flat route timing. Couple plays where, and we saw this in the preseason too, Cutler wants the running backs to not stop and wait for the ball when they release in the flat routes. whether it's Bush or Forte. He wants them to keep moving forward. He always throws the ball in front of them, and those guys keep stopping and waiting for the ball. I'm putting it on the running backs. Yes, you heard it here. Move forward, keep moving forward. Cutler's trying to give you the opportunity to catch the ball in stride with momentum where you can keep gaining yards. So they got to work that timing out. And then the last final bad note, the fourth phase. How many years, how many mediums, how many games is it going to take? Even force Jay Cutler. And I give kudos to Fred Mitchell for actually pointing it out, giving Cutler the opportunity to publicly state during their press conference. And I'm sure Scott Hagel was probably, hey, those are our season ticket holders. They feed me and pay my checks. Don't criticize them. But no, the fourth phase deserves to be criticized. Wisen up, okay? 2012, we may not only last until the Mayan prediction, but please, for the love of every deity ever worshipped, learn how to keep your friggin' mouths quiet, like Cutler said, until after they score, all right? I mean, come on. Anyway, moving right along. I don't want to even moving right along. Things of note, because there wasn't much ugly in this game. In case you didn't notice it, and I will try to bring it out in the breakdown, the Bears flashed on one play a 2 running back formation where Forte and Bush were in the backfield. Now, CBS, did a poor job of actually showing the formation, but I'm going to take a look at the full 22. But it was a play where Bush actually caught a pass and Forte was out on the already lined up at wide receiver. So when Bush caught the pass, Forte was actually the lead blocker. So they did flash a 2 running back formation. If somebody beats me to the punch after seeing this or what have you, you heard it here first. So anyway, Julius Peppers also too. He was in more than Israel Adonijah at defensive tackle in what I'm going to now call the rush hour package, okay? Let's call it the rush hour package. It makes more sense. People know what I'm talking about. In the rush hour package, when they line up with 3 defensive ends, Julius Peppers was actually in at defensive tackle far more than Israel Adonijah, even though all we saw was pretty much Israel Adonijah in the preseason. So some trickeration going on there. And then also about Brian Urlacher, I thought he looked gassed. A lot of people already wanting to write him off. I don't know what people have against Urlacher. Maybe this is his final year in the Bears uniform, at least from a contract standpoint. But wait, please be paid. Don't be, we can all be meatballs on Sunday, but don't go public on record like he's done or he looks terrible or you want to see yourself some Nick Roach. I respect everybody's opinion, but look, he looked like he was out of shape, out of conditioning, like he didn't have a training camp and he didn't have a preseason. And guess what? He didn't. Okay? The best thing that could have happened for everybody that didn't want Urlacher to play was what happened. He needs to still get in shape. You guys want him to just sit out and play Green Bay? You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you criticized Urlacher in this game, but you wanted him to sit out in this game and then play Green Bay, the Urlacher you saw today would be the Urlacher you'd see in Green Bay. So Lovey played it right. Play him as long as you need to let him get in shape. Like Urlacher said, not yet in shape. Then you can expect to see a better Urlacher in Green Bay. But what I saw is lack of conditioning and still getting used to, as Urlacher called it, that stupid brace. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my notes. Those are my notes from the stream that I put out on CFT Bears, the official hashtag of Chicago Football Talk. Of course, you can expect to see breakdown videos, some excellent analysis, the best that I can give, what I would love to see if other fans were doing it instead of me on Chicago Football Talk. For Chicago Football Talk, your boy Roy, we got a short week. Packers on Thursday. It's going to make Sunday kind of suck, but it's great because it's going to make this work week pass really fast. And I'm sure the intoxicating effect of that Bears victory is still going to be felt throughout the week and have everybody have a great work week. The whole city is going to be in euphoria this week. And then hopefully it will continue when the Bears beat the Packers on Thursday night, which I'm sure a lot of fans are feeling when they were writing that in as an L, that they might want to erase that and put or make it, fudge it to make it be a W. Your boy Roy for Chicago Football Talk. Peace and I'm out.